This is lesson 1 of solving simultaneous equations, and what we will be looking at is solving simultaneous equations where by using the elimination method, where we are multiplying either one or both of the equations. So for this first example, 5x plus 2y equals 13, x plus y equals 2. So we've got two equations with two unknowns, x and y, and we need two equations to solve this simultaneously. And the first step is to compare the coefficients for each of the two letters. So x, coefficient for x is there's 5 and 1, and again 2 and 1 again. So coefficients are different. So the first step is to make sure that either the x coefficient or the y coefficient has to be the same. So if I was to multiply this second equation by 2, I will then have a 2y term there that will have the same coefficient there. So for this first part, so the first equation, 5x plus 2y equals 13, that stays the same. And once I've multiplied this out, so when I multiply this out, each term in the equation is multiplied by 2. So that becomes 2x plus 2y equals 4. Next part, next step, I'm going to use the stop method, same, take away, opposite, plus, and that is referring to the coefficients, but more so the sign in front of the coefficients. So the coefficients, look at the two coefficients that are the same. The sign in front for these two terms are both pluses, so they're both the same. So therefore we are going to take away the two equations. So I'm going to subtract the two equations. So 5x take away 2x leaves 3x, 2y take away 2y, those two cancel out, 13 take away 4 equals 9. So at this stage I've eliminated one of the letters. I've got rid of one of the letters, so I'm only left with one term, one letter, in 3x equals 9. So the next step is now I'm going to divide both sides by 3, because it's 3x, so divide both sides by 3, and now I'm left with x is equal to 9 divided by 3, which is equal to 3. So now I've worked out the value of x. Next step, I'm now going to substitute this value back into either one of these two equations. Well, if I look at the two equations, the second equation, x plus y, is a lot easier to use. So x plus y equals 2, x is equal to 3. So I'm going to substitute that in. So now I've got 3 plus y equals 2. And to make y the subject, I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. So 3 take away 3 is 0. So now that becomes y. 2 minus 3 is equal to minus 1. So now I've worked out the value of x is equal to 3 and y is equal to minus 1. And for the last step, I'm going to just use the other equation that I've not used for the substitution, 5x plus 2y equals 13, and substitute these numbers in just as a mental way of checking to make sure I've got the right answer. So 5 times 3 is 15, 2 times minus 1 is minus 2, 15 take away 2 equals 13. That shows I've got the right answer. For the second example, again I've got two simultaneous equations, x and y in both, so two unknowns, two simultaneous equations which we are going to solve simultaneously. The first step, again, look at the coefficients, and again this time the x coefficients are 2 and 5, y coefficients are 3 and 2. So therefore this time we're going to multiply both the equations to look for the lowest common multiple for either of the coefficients. So we could look at either the lowest common multiple for 2x and 2 and 5, or the lowest common multiple of 3 and 2. And in this time I'm going to, and you can choose either. It doesn't matter which coefficient you make the same. So for this one, we're going to make the lowest common multiple for the y's. Lowest common multiple between 2 and 3 is 6. So I need to multiply this equation by 2, multiply this equation by 3. So my two equations will now become 4x plus 6y is equal to 10. And then for the second equation, multiplying by 3, I've now got 15x minus 6y is equal to 16 times 3 is 48, so therefore that's minus 48. So now we've got the two y coefficients as 6 to make them the same. The next step, again, I'm going to refer to the stop method. So same, take away, opposite, plus. So look at the signs for the two coefficients that are the same. The signs are different, they're the opposite, so therefore we're going to plus add the two equations together. So now we end up with 4x plus 15x equals 19x. 6y plus minus, a plus and minus makes a minus, so that's 6y, take away 6y, those two will cancel out. And then again 10 plus minus 48, plus and minus makes minus, so 10 minus 48, and that gives me minus 38. To work out the value of x, again, divide both sides by 19, divide by 19, and I'm left with x, and then 38 divided by 19 is 2, so therefore minus 38 divided by 19 will give me minus 2. So the value of x there is minus 2. And again, next step, I'm going to now substitute this back into either one of these two equations. So we've got the value of x is minus 2. So, and again, this time I'm going to choose the first equation. 2x plus 3y equals 5. Because of this minus 16, it will make it a bit more complicated. Okay, or a lot easier for me to make a mistake. So with the so 2x plus 3y. So again, 2x plus 3y equals 5. And substitute this in. So 2 times minus 2 plus 3y equals 5. That's minus 4 plus 3y equals 5. Add 4 to both sides. So then that 4 minus 4 plus 4 equals 0. And you're left with 3y is equal to 9. 5 plus 4 equals 9. Divide by 3. And that gives us y is equal to 3. So again, we've got two values. Corresponding values are when x equals minus 2, y is equal to 3. And again, we can check if we were to substitute these back into the second equation. For your main task, I would like you to complete 3 questions from the red section and 3 from the green section. So that is 6 questions in total. And once you've completed the questions, can you upload a picture of your answers onto class charts?